What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Welcome back to my channel. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I hope you like this video. This is the Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 13, episode 13. Listen, let me say this first of all. Cynthia, you should be mad as hell. They ain't even give you your own episode, girl. They did not even give you a dedicated episode for your wedding. You had to share your wedding with a girls' night, with Dennis and Portia drama. Like, girl, Eva got her own episode for her wedding, and she had only been on the show for like a season and a half. Girl. Anyway, you here, we there. Let's make it happen. So, we start this episode off with the rehearsal dinner, which got rained out because it was, remember it was supposed to be a whole hurricane coming through the weekend of Cynthia's wedding. And she's in her feelings. She, as every bride should be. Every bride wants the perfect wedding day. They want everything to go perfectly well. But I'm going to say this. I feel for Cynthia, but I don't feel for Cynthia. I'm going to tell you why. A couple of reasons. One, you knew you were planning this big-ass wedding in the middle of a whole pandemic. So, I know we couldn't foresee a hurricane coming, but certainly, ma'am, you had to know things weren't going to go according to plan. That's number one. Number two, between you and your husband, y'all done had 6 weddings. I'm just saying. Now, Cynthia, one of the things Cynthia mentioned was how the media was slamming her and dragging her for having a super spreader event. Well, ma'am, you did. You did. You had all them people in close quarters. You had on face shields, but they say the face shield without the mask is really counterproductive, okay? Then at the wedding, people weren't spread out. They was sitting all up on each other. They was dancing on the dance floor. They was getting food off the buffet. Girl, you had a super spreader event, period. So don't get mad. Don't get in your feelings because it is what it is, okay? Now, Eva done showed up to her house because Eva's a bridesmaid. Cynthia done Kenya done showed up in Candy because they're all bridesmaids, right? And they're outside talking. And once again, what the hell we had to talk about? We had to talk about the damn bachelorette party and who slept with who. Now, this time, Candy, you was a little bit more open when the conversation started and you were sharing a little bit more information. At the end of the day, I just don't understand why it's this big of a deal. Other than the fact that we're making a show. Clearly, I get it because we're making a TV show. But under normal circumstances, y'all, it just ain't that serious. We had grown folks doing grown folk things in a situation where we already told from the beginning, what happens here stays here. I can't be friends with none of you hoes, okay? And I normally don't call y'all women out y'all name, but I just can't be friends with none of you hoes. Listen, me and my friends have had many trips to Vegas and things of that nature, and whatever happened there just stayed there. Hell, we don't even reminisce about it when we amongst ourselves and we kikiing and cockeying. We might give each other that look like, you remember? Yeah, I remember. And that be the end of it. Y'all talk too much. Act like you never been nowhere. Anyway, Cynthia gonna tell Candy, well, thank you for having my back because I already see what's going to happen here. I already see that this is going to end up being everybody jumping on me, and they're going to call me a liar, and they're going to say it didn't happen. So, Candy, all I know is I just appreciate you having my back, and if shit hit the fan, I expect you to still have my back. Kenya has a way of saying things where it seemed like she always threatening somebody. Like, I feel like she was sort of threatening Candy. If it come out, I expect you to have my back. Girl, I'm a grown-ass woman. Last I checked. I will say what I want to say, when and how I want to say it. Candy don't have to back you up because you shouldn't be repeating what happened. Either way, it is what it is. They done brought Eva up to speed on what happened, what didn't happen, and who was with who, and who was in whose room, and what, And Candy did bring up a good point. Candy was like, listen, Tanya put herself in the room. So, as far as I'm concerned, Tanya, you sort of outed yourself. Now, as far as the rest of the ladies, Portia is steadfast in saying, ain't nothing happened. It didn't happen. It didn't happened. I don't know whether it happened or not. I told y'all what I thought 3 reviews ago. So if y'all want to go back and see it, y'all can go back and see it. Okay. Now we have a night and niece party, playing off of the nieces and the aunties from the lake house. Remember how they sort of split into 2 groups? We had the nieces and we had the aunties. So it's at Shamia's house. So we got Shamia, we got Drew, Portia, Marlo, and then Latoya came through. Now, they have t-shirts. They have a whole theme. It's nice. It looked like it was a fun time. They have games and all that good stuff. So the ladies are showing up one by one. And Portia, talked about how it's this whole thing now onto the internet. Of it wasn't me, it wasn't me, it wasn't me. So Marlo done did it. Kenya done did it. Latoya done did it. And Portia was like, I felt some kind of way because, people saying that it wasn't them. Of course, the finger's gonna be pointed at who's left, which of course at this point it was just Candy, her, and Tanya at that point, I guess. They had t-shirts that had their names from the trip, the weekend trip, and down to the lake house and everything like that. So Marlo gets there, and they actually have a conversation with Marlo about the whole Kenya situation. And Portia's thing is this: listen, I ain't got no problem with you being cool with Kenya. I just feel like the timing is a little questionable. As far as the whole it wasn't me piece, Portia felt some way about it, and Marlo was like, well, I wasn't even in on it. Me and it was really coincidental. I hadn't even talked to Kenya. I just was saying it wasn't me, and she had said it wasn't her, and it wasn't even planned. It was just real coincidental. And Portia was like, yeah, okay. Like, you could see it written all over Portia's face, like, I don't believe this bullshit. She could say what she want to say. I don't believe none of it. I don't believe what she talking about. And then Toya gets there. Now, Latoya gets there, and at first her and Drew are cool. You know what I mean? They're cool. But what I realize is that Toya can't drink. Latoya is fine until you get that alcohol in her. She can't drink. They twerking on each other. They dancing and having a good time. And they were playing Truth or Dare Jenga. And they did a couple of truths and a couple of dares. And they had a good time. And then all of a sudden, somewhere in the middle of the party, things just sort of went left. I was like... But I could tell in Toya's language that Toya was a little drunk, So, somewhere along the line, they were talking about, Toya brings up the Bolo situation again, right? And she says, well, it was on B. Scott. And so she said, well, I think it was Kenya. And they were like, well, damn, ain't that your girl? Like, you calling your girl out? And she was like, no, she is my girl, but... I think it was her. And they even roll back footage where Kenya said, well, I wouldn't be putting nothing in page 6, but if it's on B. Scott or TMZ, then it probably came from me. So now that it's in B. Scott, of course, now everybody's like, okay, well, Kenya said. And then there were even things that were like direct quotes of things that Kenya has said or that Toya has said. So now they were just like, okay, well, that's supposed to be your girl. Like, did she send you over here to have this conversation with us? And Toya was like, no, I didn't come over here for that. No, like, I'm here for y'all. Like, y'all are loyal. I'm loyal to y'all. Like, and they were like, nah, like, Kenya is your girl. Why would you come in here telling us about Kenya? So then they were like, so then she starts telling Kenya's business, talking about some, well, Kenya's going through a lot right now. Her husband's taking her for child support, for alimony. And they were like, and this is what let you know, they said, you shouldn't be telling Kenya's business. Like, ain't Kenya your friend? Why are you sitting here telling Kenya's business? And I'm like, dang, when people who don't even rock with Kenya are telling you, you probably shouldn't be telling Kenya's business, you might want to be quiet. And, Toya was like, well, no, I'm not doing that. That's not what I'm doing. That's not what I'm doing. Next thing you know, child, her and Drew done got into it. And Drew starts talking about, you know, when people are going through a divorce, that's a really sticky thing. And Toya gonna say, yeah, Portia, you know what that's like. Portia was like, how I getting this? You didn't bring. So they done got into an argument with her and Toya and Drew. And they just started talking about who got this kind of a wedding and who got that kind of a marriage. And Drew was like, girl, I got a perfect marriage with a perfect husband and perfect kids. She said, you the one whose husband trying to cancel you. And it got nasty. Like, they were literally like, they had to pull them apart. Because Drew went real, as they say, Detroit on her, okay? And then they had to sort of calm her down. And they had to calm her down, right? Actually, I think I got that out of order, but it don't matter. It all happened at the damn party, okay? It all went down where Toya was telling Kenya business, and Toya and Drew almost got into it, okay? My bad. But neither here nor there. That's basically, and like I said, anytime Portia and Drew had to tell her, girl, you telling Kenya's business, and that ain't your business to tell, and that's supposed to be your home girl, you might want to watch yourself. Listen, that lets you know right there. That lets you know right there. So then we get to the super spreader. We've seen all the pictures. We've heard all the things.